Hey everyone! If your website's feeling a little, well, invisible, and you're ready to attract some real attention, this deep dive is for you.
Sounds intriguing.
We're going to be taking a look at this article from Now Technology Systems.
Right?
They're an Australian web design company, and they've got some really interesting ideas about using long-tail keywords to boost organic traffic.
So instead of trying to rank for those super competitive broad terms, it's more about getting specific and really speaking to the people who are actually going to become customers.
Exactly. It's like instead of shouting into this massive crowd, you're having like a one-on-one conversation with the people you really want to reach.
I like that analogy.
Right. So I'll admit, I used to be totally guilty of just stuffing my website with all these generic keywords.
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Right. But it never really worked.
No.
So let's break this down a bit.
Yeah.
What exactly are long-tail keywords?
Okay, so think about it this way. If you were craving a pastry late at night, would you just search online for bakeries?
No, probably not.
Right,
Yeah.
you'd probably get more specific, right? You might search for something like artisan bakeries in Melbourne open late.
Yeah.
So that's a long-tail keyword.
Okay.
It's longer, more specific, and it reflects someone who's, much closer to actually making a purchase.
Makes sense, yeah.
They know what they want.
But for someone like me who's always struggled with keyword research, how do I actually find these magical long-tail keywords that are relevant to, what I do?
Well, the article, it actually outlines a pretty practical 4-step process.
Okay.
And it starts with research, right?
Yeah.
So using tools like Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush, or Ubersuggest.
I've heard of those.
Yeah. They're really helpful.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond just plugging in words, right? You have to actually pay attention to how your target audience is talking online.
So it's like almost eavesdropping on your ideal customer.
Exactly. What questions are they asking in forums or in social media comments?
Yeah, yeah.
What language are they using in, say, online reviews?
Okay, so you're really trying to get into their heads and figure out what they're searching for.
Precisely.
All right, so once you have, this list of potential long-tail keywords,
Right.
What's next?
Well, the next step is actually creating content that naturally incorporates those keywords
Okay.
and answers those specific questions that your audience is asking.
So we're talking about high-quality content, not just a bunch of keywords crammed in there.
Absolutely.
Got it.
It has to be valuable.
Right, yeah.
But, there's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this thing called on-site optimization earlier.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Right.
So on-site optimization is basically making sure that your website is structured in a way that search engines can easily understand.
Okay.
It's like tweaking things behind the scenes with your page titles and descriptions.
Gotcha.
So it's super clear what your content is all about to the search engines.
You're giving them all the clues.
Exactly. And you also want to make sure you're using those long-tail keywords in headers, URLs, even image alt text, things like that.
Okay, so you're really laying it all out there for them.
Exactly. Make it easy for
Make it easy, yeah.
But, this whole process, it isn't just set it and forget it.
Right, so there's more.
Yeah. The article really emphasizes the importance of ongoing analysis and adjustment.
Okay.
You need to actually use analytics to track which keywords are actually driving traffic and conversions.
Makes sense.
And then you refine your approach based on that data.
So it's a constant evolution.
Yeah. You're always learning, always tweaking.
Gotcha.
It's never really finished.
Okay, I love how this process combines data with that human element.
I agree.
It's not just about manipulating algorithms.
Right.
It's about understanding your audience.
Yeah.
And giving them what they want in a way that they can actually find it.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the human element, the article has this really interesting case study.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's about a travel agency in Australia.
Okay.
And it really illustrates this impact of using long-tail keywords.
Oh, okay.
So imagine the difference, right, between someone landing on our site after searching for a broad term like travel.
Yeah.
Versus someone searching for, say, customized honeymoon packages, Queensland 2023.
Wow, that second one is so specific.
Exactly. You're reaching someone who's already planning their honeymoon, knows exactly what they want.
They're ready to book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the power of long-tail keywords, right?
Yeah.
You're attracting the right visitors, the ones who are actually more likely to, engage with your business.
It's not just about getting more traffic. It's about getting the right traffic.
Exactly.
Okay, this is starting to make a lot of sense.
Could have.
But, we're all busy people.
Mm-hmm.
how can we actually find the time to implement all of this?
Right.
Like, where do we even start?
Well, the article acknowledges that this can feel kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
So they suggest starting small.
Okay.
You don't have to, overhaul your whole website right away.
Small steps.
Exactly. Just look for opportunities to naturally incorporate maybe just a few long-tail keywords into your existing content.
Okay, that feels doable.
Right.
But what about creating new content?
Well, that's where blogging comes in.
Ah, okay.
Commit to publishing blog posts on a regular basis using long-tail keywords to create, really informative and engaging content that your audience will actually find valuable.
So you're basically, positioning yourself as an expert, right?
Exactly. And you're building trust with your audience.
Right.
By consistently putting out great content.
Okay, yeah.
That targets those specific search phrases.
That makes sense.
And, another really key piece of advice from the article is to actually listen to your audience.
Oh, yeah.
Pay attention to the language they're using in surveys, feedback forms, social media interactions.
Okay.
Their questions can really give you a goldmine of insights.
If they're handing you the key words.
Exactly.
All right. This is all super interesting, and I'm already starting to, brainstorm all these ideas.
Awesome.
But before we get too carried away, let's take a quick break.
Sure.
To recap everything we've learned so far.
Good idea.
We'll be back in just a minute for part 2 of this deep dive into the world of long-tail keywords.
Looking forward to it. So, as we were talking about now, technology systems, I was struck by how they position themselves.
Right. They're the Australian web design company behind the article.
Yeah.
And they specialize in crafting those personalized SEO strategies for small businesses.
Yeah, and that's what I find really interesting. They're not just advocating for long-tail keywords in this article, right? They're actually using them to attract clients who are specifically looking for that kind of personalized approach.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just a theoretical concept.
Right. It's like they're walking the walk.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me think about all the small businesses out there, who are struggling to stand out online.
Absolutely.
If a company that specializes in SEO sees the value in this targeted approach, shouldn't we all be paying attention?
I mean, yeah, it seems like a no-brainer.
Right. And this brings up a really important point.
What's that?
If even the experts are moving away from those generic solutions, right?
Yeah.
And embracing this idea of tailoring strategies to individual needs.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the digital landscape as a whole?
To me, it screams personalization, right?
Right.
It's not enough to just throw a bunch of keywords at a wall and hope something sticks. You really need to understand your audience, their pain points, their language.
And what they're actually searching for.
Yeah.
That's the essence of this approach, right?
Yeah.
It's about using those long-tail keywords to meet your audience exactly where they are in their search journey.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just trying to, get anyone and everyone to your site.
Right.
You're trying to attract the people who are genuinely interested in what you have to offer.
It's like almost like having a one-on-one conversation with your ideal customer.
I like that.
Right, addressing their needs, their concerns directly.
Exactly.
And I think that human connection is really what sets this strategy apart from all the other SEO advice out there.
I couldn't agree more. It's not about manipulating algorithms,
right,
or tricking people into clicking on your website.
Right, yeah, it's got to be genuine.
It's about building genuine relationships with your audience.
Yeah.
Right? Providing valuable content that answers their questions, solves their problems.
I love that.
And, this whole deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening. And
yeah, I know. I'm already brainstorming.
That's great.
But it's important to remember that this isn't a magic bullet.
It's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time and effort to really see those results.
Yeah. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly. It's a long-term strategy.
Okay.
You need to be patient, consistent,
right,
and willing to adapt your approach.
Based on what you're learning.
Exactly. But you know what? The rewards are definitely worth it.
I agree. I think so too.
Absolutely. So before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, where we'll be sharing some additional resources and key takeaways.
I'm excited.
Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed so far.
Okay.
We've learned that long-tail keywords are more than just, longer phrases.
Yeah.
They're a way to connect with your target audience on a much deeper level, and build those lasting relationships.
Yeah, I'm all about that. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into long-tail keywords.
Back for more.
I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Good.
And ready to, actually start putting all this knowledge into action.
That's the spirit.
You always say the best way to learn is by doing.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to, experiment a little.
Okay.
And see what works best for your specific business.
You're right. It's all about, finding that sweet spot, right? Where data-driven strategies meet genuine human connection.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And speaking of data, you mentioned earlier that there are, tools beyond the ones from the article that can help us uncover those valuable, those long-tail keywords.
Absolutely. So Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush, Ubersuggest.
Yeah.
Those are all great starting points, but there's a whole world of SEO tools out there.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Some of them focus on, competitor analysis.
Oh, interesting.
Others on tracking your website's performance.
Mm-hmm.
Some even offer suggestions for content creation.
Wow. So it's like having a whole team of SEO experts, at my fingertips.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I have to admit, I sometimes feel a little lost,
I get it.
in the sea of data.
Mm-hmm. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah. Any advice on how to make sense of it all?
Well,
Yeah.
don't underestimate the power of your own website analytics.
Oh, right.
They can give you so much information about your audience's behavior.
Okay. Like what?
Like which pages they're visiting most often,
Okay.
how long they're staying on each page,
Right.
even what search terms they use to find you.
Wow. It's like a direct line to their thoughts.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to dive deeper into my analytics dashboard.
Good idea.
So any final words of wisdom?
Well, just remember that SEO, it's an ongoing process, right?
It's a journey.
Exactly. It's not about finding that magic formula
Right.
and then just sitting back and relaxing.
Right. Got to keep at it.
Yeah, you need to be constantly learning, adapting, refining your approach based on, what the data is telling you.
Makes sense.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay.
But, I have a feeling that by embracing this long tail keyword strategy and really focusing on that human connection, you'll be miles ahead of the competition in no time.
I love that attitude. And going back to what we were talking about earlier with now technology systems, if a company that specializes in SEO sees the value in tailoring their strategies to individual businesses,
right,
it's a clear sign that one size fits all approach is
outdated. Yeah. It's becoming a thing of the past.
It's all about embracing specificity, understanding your audience, and really speaking directly to their needs.
You got it.
So as we, wrap up this deep dive, and we all embark on our long-tail keyword journeys, remember, to stay curious, stay creative, and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
It has been fun.
And I feel much more equipped to navigate this ever-evolving world of SEO.
Glad to hear it.
Thanks for joining me on this journey.
Of course, anytime.
And thanks to all of you for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.